Welcome to ChessBase Magazine 166. The top tournaments of this issue are Chamkir in Azerbaijan, where world champion Magnus Carlsen won and Viswanathan Anand was second, and he's also now second in the rating list as he has managed to get above 2,800 and also annotated a game against Wesley So, and I of course again had to delete almost all of Vishy Anand's annotations due to the space limitations. But on the DVD they are all there, of course. How did he continue here with white against Wesley So? B4, very good. This fixes black's queenside pawns as weaknesses. And in the next step, queen f3, as black will lose the pawn endgame. He has to retreat with the queen. Yeah, and then okay, the next phase I will make the moves. And now it's your turn again. c3, this blows open invasion roads on their queen side, and Vishy went on to win convincingly. Next is the European Championship in Jerusalem, which was won by Evgeny Nayer, and David Navarra has annotated his victory against Robert Kempinski here. How did he continue with white to move? Knight e8. This strong blow was probably missed by Kempinski, as now black's coordination is seriously in danger. But after rook a7, matters would have been better for white, but not so clear. While after queen c7, Navarra played rook g1, and now white wins as the knight d8 destroys the harmony of the defense. And Kempinski resigned. Next is the Team World Championship in Armenia, which was won by China, and second was the Ukrainian team. And I want to mention the Women's World Championship, which was won by Maria Muzichuk, and she has also annotated a game for the ChessBase magazine. There are 13 opening surveys. A new author is a Swiss player, Jonas Wüss, who looks at the French Vinava system with queen g4 in the 7th move and castling short from black's point of view. There are 2 opening videos by Mikhail Tishin with the Queen's Gambit accepted and e3 in the 3rd move, and by Robert Riss in the Slav with Queen b3 in the 4th move. And 3 of the normal opening surveys I want to mention explicitly. The first by Georgios Zolaidis, who looks at the following system from the Philidor and now e5. It could of course also arise via the Philidor move order, but nowadays it most often arises via this Pertz move order. Oh yeah, way of Pertz, yeah. Berilovich Zaragatsky went as follows. Yeah, here already comes a move order question. It's of course also possible to play bishop e7 and only after castling short then start with knight b6. But white could also play a4 in the 6th move. So Zaragatsky took directly to take away these options, and one advantage might also be that bishop b3 is now dubious. The bishop usually retreats to e2, and then black claims that white very slight space advantage in the center is not really something. So if this is a weapon for black, then look at it, and if you play e4 with white, then maybe you also need a counter weapon. Max Illingworth looks at the French Tarrasch from white's point of view. And this is a critical variation from Ruth de Boize. And yeah, there it is a matter of taste, I think, if you like it or not. White always has a space advantage in the center in these positions, but black has counterplay on the queen side, of course. Illingworth recommends a3, and now this is probably the critical line, also given by many other authors, like John Watson. And here he advocates queen c2, not played in the game, to continue quickly with f5. Yeah, and this is critical. There are other authors like Watson and Solak who think that black has equality, but I think that it is a matter of taste, and if you're well prepared with white, you can certainly set the opponent some problems here. And with black, of course, if you're a French player, you should study the countermeasures against this approach. Finally, Michael Marin looks at the accelerated Bourguignon. Yeah, only really playable against d4, c4, and now his move order is a direct check, like in the Bourguignon, but he wants to exploit the advantage that the knight is not on f6, so that f5 can be played immediately in many lines to reach some kind of improved Dutch. And okay, if this is your cup of tea, then study the article to get a weapon if white plays d4, c4 directly, the accelerated Bourguignon. Dorian Rogosenko in his strategy column looks at converting a material advantage. He especially likes Smyslov's games, and I like the way he always manages to combine the classics from the past with instructive examples from modern times. Corinthos Smyslov, Monte Carlo, 1967. How to continue with black. How to convert the exit pawn. a5. Very good. Gives away the material advantage to get a very dangerous passed pawn, which dominates the battle and wins the game after some further moves. Carlsen Nakamura from the Gashinov Memorial 2014 is a modern day example. Why to move and how to start, but it's not so easy, and Rogosenko really analyzes many moves in great depth. I had to delete this all, of course. And how to start. It is not so easy to break the black's static setup and to get the pawns moving to convert the 2 extra pawns. I won't give the solution away. Study this for some time. It is not so easy, I think. How did Magnus Carlsen start? Oliver Ray in his tactics column looks at energetic e-pawns. This is Kempinski-Radulov from the European Championship. White to move and win. h4 check. This drags black queen into this prison, and now it's a question of mate or stalemate somehow. Queen e3, really, we want mate, we don't want stalemate, so the pin has to be released. And now the energetic e-pawn will decide the day sooner or later. Okay, sooner, so Radulov resigned. In the endgames column, I look at endgames which arise from the Volga banker gamut. They are quite typical due to the typical Volga pawn structure. And last not least, Rainer Knag looks at several opening traps. I have selected 2 of them. Torres Strock from the Latin Cup 2015. And this is not really a trap. Okay, white plays from the Vienna game this typical main line, which is more or less like a king's gambit. And now, according to the sources, queen h4 check falls into white's trap, and white is better. This is given in many sources, but Rainer Knag doubts it. He thinks that black has adequate compensation. So if you know that your opponent plays it, you could deliberately fall into the trap and then show your preparation and show that black has sufficient counterplay. This is all typical play. And now Rainer Knag wants to deviate from the game and play bishop g4, but black must be precise here, of course. You must be very prepared if you want to enter it. Knight c6, and I think very important here is f6. And now Knag claims that black has enough counter play. So here you could fall into the trap and then be well prepared, have advantage of time on the clock, know the variations, and then it should be dynamically balanced according to Knack's analysis. Last not least, a real trap, but okay, maybe also not real because it's a main line. Annalena Schneck, Ivano Keshia from the Austrian Team Championship 2015. Again, yeah, this Philidor setup, now not e3, but knight bd7 first. Only now, not e5, but knight b7 first. Only now e5. Yeah, and okay, this is of course a well-known theoretical position, so it's not really a trap. But the question for you is bishop takes f7 check working? And if not, why not? The solution is on the DVD by Rainer Knack, as usual. So I wish you a lot of fun with ChessBase Magazine 166.